Hello loves, welcome back to my amazing channel. I know you guys have been looking forward to more content from me, so I'm trying to be as consistent as I can possibly be. Bars, that rhymes. So today's video is going to be about dating mistakes that I made in my 20s. And for those of you who do not know, I am 24 years old, so I am still fairly young. I'm a 24-year-old woman, but I have the mind of a 31-year-old woman because of my maturity sometimes. So I can already look back and tell that I made so many mistakes as I was trying to date. So today I would like to share those mistakes with you guys so that you do not make the same mistakes that I did. The first mistake that I made dating in my 20s is trying to date these men at all. I'm just playing. Not really. I say that because the first mistake that I made was not actually dating. For example, so many women do not actually date men. They find a man that seems to have all of the qualities that they're looking for without actually seeing what else is out here. And hear me when I say this, men do dates. They just kind of date in a different way than women. It's okay to date to see what is out here. Dating does not mean opening your legs. Keep your legs closed and see what is out here. My mistake that I made is I would always meet a young man who would show me his representative, not really who he actually is going to be long term, but he showed me the person that so many of them did, not just one. They showed me the people that they felt like that I wanted them to be without being their natural selves. I feel like so many women, they put all their eggs in one basket. This is not trying to tell you to go out here and be a little loosey-goose, be flapping all around the place and just having like so much going on. No, actually dating, meaning like going out on dates, getting dressed up, talking to people, seeing people's mindsets, seeing how they carry themselves, see how they view life, or see how men view women. Because if so many of you don't notice, once you rush into a relationship, I rushed into so many relationships at a very, very young age, and none of them worked out because I feel like that I didn't truly take the time to get to really know these people. Because it's so good in the beginning, but what happens when the little puppy dog stage, you know, starts to wear off? People start showing their true selves because nobody can put on a front for everything. If you know, really take the time to just sit back and really listen to people, that will tell you everything that you need to know about a person, because listening to somebody will expose their mindset. So if you actually take the time to date, you'll be able to really tell if you and that person are compatible. But no, instead I would meet someone, I didn't want to be considered as, excuse my language you guys, back in the day I didn't want to be considered as a whore. So I was just like, oh no, I think I like this young man over here, so I'm just going to get to know him. I'm not going to have a conversation with anybody else because I just feel like that's wrong. Whole time homeboy over here talking to like 3 or 4 chicks because honestly he's trying to see which one of them he is compatible with. So I really don't see the problem in women actually dating, because a lot of women don't think that you should actually date. I'm saying date, not be intimate with, and there is a huge difference with that. Another mistake I made when trying to date in my 20s is I feel like that I would open up too quickly. I don't know what it is about me. I guess I just assumed that people would have, you know, the same heart as me, so I'm up here just here, you have some of my love, you have some of my love, when I should have been just sitting back and listening. Because let me tell you this, and I don't think that this is really toxic advice, never underestimate a person's ability to use what you tell them about you against you when they're upset with you. So I feel like I would start getting, you know, blabber mouth with people that I was in a relationship with because I was getting too comfortable with them. My heart would start getting soft and mushy. I'm thinking that we're both equally in love with each other, and here I am telling too much too fast too soon. Because honestly you guys, it takes a special kind of man to not throw up in your face whatever you have opened up to them about. Opening up about things such as trauma, like, oh, my ex cheated on me 50 times, or oh, this man did this to me, this man did that to me. No, I feel like what we need to understand as women is you don't have to open up to a man and tell him everything that you've been through just so that he will treat you right. I understand our brains are wired differently than men's brains are. A lot of us feel like that we have to be, you know, so open about our past relationships. Listen, those relationships are in the past for a reason. Have you ever wondered why the same thing keeps on happening to you in different relationships with different people, but it's the exact same scenario? It just happened in a different way. That's because 9 times out of 10, at a point in time in that relationship, you let somebody know all of the horrible things that you have been through, so it makes it so much easier for somebody to do that to you again when they know what you'll tolerate, basically. Like, yeah, you could have grown to know not to tolerate certain things. It's okay to let them know just, you know, a tiny little bit of something so that they know enough. But after that, we have to stop opening up about trauma, because we have to stop giving people ammo to use against us when they are angry with us, because it takes a special kind of person to not use those things against you. And that's something that I learned that I used to open up too quickly when I should have just, you know, sat back and listened to that man and his mindset, so that could help me determine how he actually felt about me. Because knowing me, being so caring and so loving, like, why did I have to have this type of heart? I don't know. Having this type of heart, it caused me to be in some very, very messed up situations that I didn't have to go through. If only I could have, you know, sat back, played a little harder, thought smarter, not harder. Okay. I don't want you guys to make that same mistake. And if you can relate, then you know I'm dropping nothing but jewels, and I'm being completely honest with you guys. Another thing that I noticed, some relationships that I have been in, if you want to call them that, ever gotten to the point where you don't really consider people exes, just lessons? Like, okay, this was your season to teach me something. Okay, thank you for the lesson, but I'm out. Period. What I noticed in some relationships that I have had previously is that I allowed some men to like completely water me down. And basically what that means is I would kind of like let them lowball me. I would have so many men who, well, not so many, ooh Lord, that came out wrong. I would have guys pursuing me, doing all the great lovey-dovey stuff that they do at the beginning until they actually get you. Like, for instance, like so many guys that I used to like deal with, you know how when people get you and like all the little great little lovey-dovey stuff stops, and it's basically like they forget that you that pressure. Like, I'm that pressure, like, and they stop treating you like you're that pressure. Every woman should feel like that you're that, you know what I'm saying? Like, watch your mouth. You should always feel confident about yourself. And I noticed that sometimes when I would get involved with certain men, when they got me, they didn't want me to believe that I was as beautiful or attractive as I was, because they didn't want me to basically, I guess, get the big head. They didn't want me to realize like, oh wait, she actually deserves so much better than me. So let me start to lowball her. Let me start to, you know, water her down. Let me start to make her feel like that she isn't this much of who she is, if that makes sense. Let me start to make her feel like she's not that pretty. She's not that this. That's why there's so many other girls out here. So let me make her to start feeling insecure. And I feel like that's a big mistake that I made, because if somebody could not see my worth, and I'm not just talking about physical appearance when I say I'm that pressure. What I'm saying is I'm that pressure, meaning I got a dope vibe, I got a dope personality. No, I'm not a perfect female, and I'm a very attractive female. And I noticed a lot of guys that I was in relationships with, As soon as, and I'm a homebody, keep that in mind, as soon as I want to go out somewhere, they would start an argument with me the same day that I was going out. I swear, y'all, I cannot make this up. And I feel like that a reason that they did that is because they wanted to ruin my night, so that when I go out, I couldn't be focused on enjoying myself and being the best version of myself, because they already know, sweetheart, when I step out, I'm gonna be looking good. So it's gonna be other men that think I'm attractive, like, you thought you was the only one? But that don't mean that I was gonna give them that type of energy. You get what I'm saying? But I noticed, and that started happening to me a couple of times, and I'm like, Lord, is it me? Until I had to realize that a lot of these guys, they really be out here insecure, so they want to break you down to make you feel like you're beneath them, pretty much. And ladies, please never allow somebody to do that to you. When it was being done to me, I didn't realize that until I had to really pay attention to what's coming out of these men's mouths. Don't let them get too comfortable. If you start letting them, you know, get comfortable with certain stuff, they just start ice skating all around the place. The next thing you know, they getting away with everything. So if that man cannot uplift you and make you feel like that you're the most beautiful girl in the world, that does not mean that they will not find other women attractive, because common sense, like, but he has eyes. He's not going to be blind, but he's also not going to belittle you and make you feel like that you're not beautiful and that you're not important and that you're not enough. And I allowed some bozos, period, to, you know, treat me like that in the past. And I just be so disgusted with the treatment that I used to allow. But you have to understand that at that time, obviously, I did not realize who I truly was. So right now, you're seeing a young woman that is walking in her purpose and that has learned her worth, when so many people have tried to tell me that I was not worthy. Another dating mistake that I made in my 20s was trying to date at all. Don't get me wrong. People are looking for different things as they get older. They want to settle down. They want to get married. They want to have kids. And they want to do all of these things, which is absolutely beautiful. But I feel like that I should have just spent my 20s, especially my earlier 20s, and I'm just 24. I should have spent that time, you know, really enjoying life instead of trying to be, you know, in a serious committed relationship, you know, trapped down to a man. I should have been living, sis. I'm up here at my early stages in my 20s, you know, experiencing heartbreak and experiencing all of these terrible emotions, making horrible, toxic soul ties, Lord. And sometimes it's a big regret for me, but if I did not experience certain things, then there's certain things that I would not be able to speak from. So this is clearly speaking from experience to you young women. A lot of women, not all women's minds are wired different, and a lot of us, we want things so early at a young age when we should have just been enjoying life. Because I know you get tired of people hearing this. You have your whole life to be worried about these other things. In my 30s, that's when I should have been worrying about, you know, trying to be serious with people and trying to, you know, look for a potential husband. I should have been, you know, living, enjoying life, traveling, stacking up my guap, stacking up that moolah, you know what I'm saying? Anything that was bettering me is what I should have been focused on, instead of focusing on a relationship. And I'm preaching to the choir, because a lot of women, that is their main focus right now at their young age. Sis, you got your whole life to let a man stress you. Why you want to waste your 20s doing it, boo? I'm just playing. Not every man will stress you, but yeah. So I should have spent that time just really finding out who Nikki was. Those are just a few dating mistakes that I made in my 20s. I really hope that this video helps somebody. Sis, I'm not up here speaking for my health. I'm trying to protect you guys. I'm trying to love on you guys. And I'm trying to teach you guys some things from my horrible dating past life. Ew, tacky. If it'll help you guys, then I'm all here for it. So stay tuned for my next videos. Catch up on all of my old videos. Do not forget to subscribe to my channel, because you don't want to miss out. So what are you waiting for? Why haven't you clicked that subscribe button? Why are you just staring at me? Come on, sis. Come on. We got to get it moving, boo. We got to get it moving.